Hey guys, it's my Ben. Welcome back to my channel. So I am going to go through my main happy planner for 2018, how I set it up, why I chose to put it together the way I did. If you're interested to see all of the planners that I'm using for 2018, I'll link that in the cards and in the description box down below. Okay, so a lot has changed and some things have stayed the same, and I'm going to walk you through those changes. The biggest change in my happy planner for this year is the size. As you can see, it is super thin. It's even thinner than some notebooks that I have that I carry around with me. And the reason why is that I desperately needed something this year that was portable. If you see my mid-year setup for 2017, I'll also link that in the cards. It was super chunky, super fat. I absolutely adored that planner. It was a home-based binder. It had everything I needed in there. It was always open when I was at home, and I absolutely adored it. However, there are a ton of new changes in my life that were coming in 2018. Even the end of 2017, I hardly even got to use my happy planner in the fall because I just wasn't home for almost 2 months. So I needed something when I came back that was portable, and it was either I made my happy planner portable or I had to ditch my happy planner altogether for a slimmer A5. I mean, I went through like 8 versions of planners that I was making for myself. And I got really inspired by Stephanie Fleming's video on the Happy Planner channel, where she started combining planners in one and putting less months of each planner in her planner for the year. And I was like, wow, Maite, you're so stupid. Like, why don't you just do that, as opposed to thinking that you need to have all of these months in your happy planner? Granted, in my old happy planner, I only had 6 months, or I think less, like 4 months at a time, because I had a home binder in there and everything as well. So I slimmed it down even further than that. I'm also a hyper visual person, and if you're watching this video and super into paper planning as well, you probably are too. But what that means for me is that if my priorities aren't front and center, and by front and center I mean smacking me in the face every hour on the hour throughout the day, they'll tend to fall to the wayside. I'm not talking about like the general priorities of the day. I mean like the goals you set for yourself at the beginning of the year. And it happens to all of us. Just life gets the best of you. There's fires that you have to put throughout the day. You constantly feel like you're playing catch up. And one of those things that wasn't working for me was, as much as I loved using the happy planner in that way, where I had it as a sitting duck planner at home, I would find myself decorating the planner, filling in like a couple days of the week, and then the week just whirring by, and then having to go back and fill in some of the missing spots, as opposed to having it as a tool with me when I needed it to sort the things out that I needed to sort out. All right, so before I ramble on and on, let's get into the specifics of this planner. So I made the cover myself. It was super simple. I cut down a Target folder, one of those dollar folders from the dollar spot, to size. I liked that it had this dual color situation going on. I then slipped it into one of those Happy Planner cover sleeves. They sell them, I think, separately. I ripped this one off of a clearance planner, took the original cover out, and then put this one in. And before I did that, I put one of these Mambi sticker book quote stickers on this side of the planner because I thought it mirrored the hot pink perfectly and the black discs that I had with it. On the inside of my cover, I have a proverb, and it says, "In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths." Proverbs 3:6, and this is perfect for me to keep at the beginning of my planner because it reminds me that I'm not in control, but God is, and he will lead me on the path that I need to go on. I then put in an old Happy Planner pocket that I just love. I think it's bright and goes with the overall bright theme of my planner for this year. And I liked it because it had this pink edging. And because of the way my cover is, that pink edging shows underneath the cover. So I think it mirrors the cover quite nicely. Moving on, I have this little pocket card from Mambi. I wish they made more of them. I've only ever seen one set, but I hope they make more. Speaking of things I want them to make more of, these are just dividers that they sold during, I think it was the student teacher release over the summer, and I wish Mambi just made more dividers that like didn't have months on them, because I always want to recycle the month dividers, but they have the calendar on the back. So I'm trying to figure out creative ways in future videos that I can recycle some of those beautiful dividers. But this one I love because it has the gold foiling and it mirrors everything really nicely. How many times in this video am I gonna say mirror? Anyways, And then on the back, it has hot pink, which I think matches this neon setup really nicely. Zooming you guys in, these are one of their new daily schedule half sheets. I have 2 of them here. And on the back, they have checklists, which, you know, I am obsessed with my checklists. Then following that, I have the new neon paper that they came out with. The Forever Busy one, which is the hot pink one that has the checklist on them. And this graph paper, which you can see I have a brain dump here in orange. Sorry if it's a little washed out by the lighting. Then I have these to-do lists that I took from the home extension pack that I adore, because I need lists in 6 different forms because clearly I have a list illness. And then another divider from that set that says, "You're braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think," which is a quote from A.A. Milne. Next up, I have this little stack over here, and this is a Mambi pocket card. This is just some scratch paper that I also got from the Target dollar spot. I love repurposing sticky pads and note paper and things like that from the Target dollar spot. I just punch it in. It's a great way to get through the mounds of those that you don't use, and because we're still in winter here, I thought that these were appropriate. And I like scratch paper just to write things that I don't want to put in my planner quite yet. Just little notes, thoughts, maybe what I ate that day before I put it in my wellness section, and just general things like that. Next up is this insert that I actually made myself, and it's the books that I want to read in 2018. Just so I can keep on top of my reading list for this year, because that's a huge goal of mine. I love to read, but sometimes I completely forget the books that I read the year before, and I just would like to have a running list for myself and to keep me motivated to keep on going. Next up are the weekly pages of my planner, and by the divider, some of you may recognize that I still kept my 2017-2018 18-month seasonal planner. I love this planner. You guys know I raved about it in my last setup. I had no reason to buy a new one, and I'm so proud of myself because so many of the new ones for 2018 were super tempting, but I had an entire year left on this planner, and I definitely wanted to put it to good use. This is the current week that we're in, and as you can see, I only have Monday through Wednesday filled out, and I'm kind of doing more of a plan as you go style, which I didn't really do before, and I think because I have it with me, I'm able to do this style a little bit better, and I'm really loving how that's turning out. To bookmark it, this is from the Dollar Tree. If you've seen my Dollar Tree planner hacks video, these also made an appearance. They come in other colors as well. I think it's a pack of 5, I believe, for $1. I chose the hot pink one. And that one, however, many of you guys pointed out in the comments that it was kind of an eyesore because before it was punched with the normal standard hole punch, and I punched it myself, and I didn't have an arc punch at the time. So I made it pretty. I cut it short, and then I repunched it with my arc punch, and I changed the sticker again to match this planner. And this is one from the super old Mambi sticker books, the ones that had the 5 pages in them, to make use of that. And I really like the way it turned out. So if you're looking for a way to mark your planner on the cheap, or you want something that's not as big as the dashboards and you can't find the bookmarks, that is a tip for you guys. I only have January and February in this planner. I know for some of you that won't be possible. For me, I never plan that intensely in advance past the 2-week mark. So for me, it wasn't really necessary. If it's a really important date that's far in the future, I most likely have it written down somewhere else in my planner or somewhere else I know that I will see it in my room. Next up is my trendsetter planner. Now this was a total surprise to my planning system. This was actually the part of my planner that I was waiting on to film this video. It actually came last night. I was very fortunate to be able to purchase it through a third party. So that's my suggestion to you. If you're trying to find limited edition items, you don't live near where they're selling something that you want, definitely check buy sell trade groups on Facebook. I bought mine at a very fair price. So that's just a tip for you guys if you're still looking for the limited edition planners from the Happy Planner Girl line. I'm going to be using this as a social media planner. I know a lot of girls are, just because it's a monthly planner. There are no weekly pages in here. There's a ton of flip throughs online if you're curious about what the rest of the planner looks like. Mambi also came out with an extension pack of just monthly layouts. If you are in search of monthly layout, it will not have this design, but it's currently being sold at Michael's. Now, I have a social media planner from Plum Paper Planner that is phenomenal. I loved it. It was large, which was 8.5 by 11 inches. I have an entire review on it. I will link that in the cards and down below as well. But as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, it really didn't serve a purpose for me after a while, just because it was separate and I did want something that I could take with me and consult when I needed to consult it and just like jot things down, make sure I'm on track for certain things. And I think that was the element that I was missing. But if you are looking for something separate and you are interested in that, I will leave the link to that video. I think the layout of this is absolutely brilliant. You have your month at a glance at the top, a space for top 3. You have 3 monthly habit trackers. So if it's social media, you could do YouTube, Instagram, and a blog, for example. Then you have your monthly goals section, which is just a little bit of graph paper here, line checklists, a dotted grid here for a note to yourself. And on the other side, you have more dotted paper. You have a get it done checklist and a focus on list here. This already looks decorated, which I love. So for the times that I don't want to decorate it right away, I don't feel like it's super plain, but knowing me, I will probably decorate these pages. And then you have the daily to-do section, and I love this. I love that this isn't dated. So you have 4 pages of these per month, and they can represent each day of the month if you'd like. And the reason I love that they're not dated is, for example, I missed 2 of these weeks already, so I can just take this page that would represent the 2 weeks that I missed and slip it into another month that might be really busy, where I might need 2 boxes per each day, or more room to write down what I need to write down. You get 2 pages at the end of each month, which are also decorated. And you also have your monthly dashboard as well. And then I have my wellness extension pack, and I decided to start with this cover, Choose Where Your Energy Goes. I love this cover. I love the foiled print. I think the purple goes really well with everything else I have going in here. And just don't feel like you have to start with the first divider of an extension pack. When you start, you can start wherever you want. You do get a calendar spread in here as well. And these are the weekly pages. I'm absolutely loving this, and I definitely want to film plan with me's in this as well. This is the first week that I used it. I actually didn't fill it out originally. I went back and filled it in to kind of see how I wanted to play around with it. And then I was slowly getting the hang of it a lot more based on what I wanted to track, what I wanted to write in, how I wanted it to look like. And that happens with planners. Like, I feel like nobody gets it exactly the way they want the first time. It just takes a little bit of practice. So let me know if you want to see flip throughs and plan with me's on this. Like, I'm very inspired by what's going on here. And if you're looking for some inspiration, let me know. At the end of each month of your extension pack, you have a section for goals, what's inspiring you at the moment, how you're strengthening your mind, how you're strengthening your body, and how you're strengthening your soul, because it is an overall wellness planner, not just a fitness planner. And last but certainly not least is my notes section. This is a divider from the Trendsetter Happy Planner. I loved it because it was like the first divider that said notes, so I love that. And I decided to put more pages for checklists and notes in the back. So these Get It Done pages are also from the Trendsetter Planner, and these normal note pages, which I think are super old, from Mambi, I just wanted just like normal lined pages to jot some things down. So I have 2 of these, oh no, way more than that, in the back. All right, guys, that's it from me. Like this video if you found it helpful. And before you go, write me in the comments one thing you're doing differently this year to make your planner work for you. My one thing was portability, and I'm looking forward to see what you guys are doing to make your planner work for you this year too. As always, I will catch you in my next one. Bye, guys.